Welcome to my madness, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be taking a look at these Mattel DC Multiverse Injustice 2 figures right here. We got Superman and Batman, and the unique thing about these two figures here is they're metal. They're made out of metal. Mattel was doing something different and unusual and decided to make a couple of figures for this Injustice 2 line around the time the video game came out, and decided to actually make them out of metal instead of plastic. Now, I do believe they have some plastic parts on them. We'll take a look at that as we get these out of the package. But of course, like with a lot of these figures that I do these videos on, where I'm picking up old figures, you know, to kind of build up, at this point, my 6-inch scale DC collection, the question is, of course, is it worth it? And that's what we're going to find out here today. Is it worth still picking these figures up? All right, so here we have them out of the package, and I gotta say, I was wrong. There really isn't any plastic on these guys. I mean, I think there's a couple of joints that might be plastic inserts, but these guys are solid metal. And they are chunky, man. They're heavy too. Each one of these things weighs about 3/4 of a pound. I can't explain it to you without you actually getting one of these in hand, but they are heavy figures, and I gotta say, there's something just really cool about that. Now, of course, these are die cast, and they do have a lot of the articulation that you would expect out of kind of a, you know, DC UC or, you know, any kind of Mattel era, you know, DC figure. So, you know, we've got the single jointed elbows. There is rotation there. At the bicep. No bicep swivels. We do have single jointed knees there. They do come up, and they do have that T-style hip, so it does come out there. No waist articulation, or excuse me, no ab articulation there, but we do have a waist swivel there, and then the head does have seemingly rotation, and that's it. His head doesn't do anything else. And the Batman figure is going to be the exact same way. So he's got that rotation there, no ab crunch, no bicep swivels. Heads, this one, let's see. This one does have a little bit of an angle there. So he can look up and down in addition to rotation. You can kind of see the, look at it. This thing looks so cool. I definitely think the Batman figure looks cooler than the Superman figure, just because of the silver and the shine, and knowing that this thing is solid metal. Again, die cast, but solid metal. Look at the details there on the boots. Looks really good. All the detail in the armor and everything. Now again, he's got those DC-UC hips, so they do come out like that. Now, one thing I would say, and this is just my guess here, but I'd be very careful with articulating these guys around, because, as I said, I do believe some of the joints are plastic, with the big sections of the body being metal. If you go play with these things too much, put them in too many crazy positions, I mean, eventually that's going to wear down, and that plastic's going to wear down just due to the weight of the figure itself. So these are figures which work for me, but they're figures that basically you kind of want to just put on the shelf and leave them there. Put them like this, kind of standing big and bold, and there you go. That's it. That's all you need to do to them at that point, is just kind of leave them like that. They are really cool figures. I gotta admit, I just completely overlooked these years ago when they came out. Like, why would I want a metal action figure? But honestly, getting them in hand now, they're really cool. They both have cloth capes, which is a nice little add-on there. The paint looks phenomenal. They did a great job painting both of these figures. Head sculpts look good. I hate this costume for Superman, to be honest. I absolutely hate the Injustice costume for Superman, but having something cool like this in an all-metal figure, it doesn't bother me that much, to be honest. But like I said, the Batman figure is definitely the better looking of the two. You know, why would you want to pick these up? Well, for me, like, again, building up my DC UC and DC 6-inch collection, and these are just kind of unique little moments in, you know, DC action figure history. I can't think of us getting other metal figures, at least not that aren't some sort of expensive import or something like that, right? Like, these are unique. We got all metal figures with cloth capes, Batman and Superman. Good paint jobs. Articulation, surprisingly, is pretty damn good for what these figures are. And it's just kind of a unique moment in action figure history that we're probably not going to get again. And the fact that Mattel did this and did something cool and different, even though these aren't the greatest looking figures in the world, it's just cool. I mean, it's just really cool. These would be a cool thing to add to your collection, because there's just something different and unique about it that I think we're just probably never going to see again. You're certainly not going to see McFarlane bust out with some, die-cast versions of Batman and Superman. Like, that's not going to happen. And why should he? He doesn't need to, right? So the fact that these ever existed in the first place, I dig it, man, and I'm really happy to get a hold of them. And I do kind of want to show you guys where these guys stack up as far as, size goes. Like, we've got a Marvel Legend here. This is the new Scarlet Spider, and you can see they are both considerably larger than him. And then, of course, oh man, can you imagine if they'd made this dude in diecast? That would have been awesome if they had done like an actual steel in diecast. That's what we need. We need steel in diecast more than we need Batman and Superman. That would have been fantastic. But you can see they're right about the same size as this Mafex steel is, and they look really good, man. They're a good size. They're chunky and weighty as hell. And I think as just kind of like, as I knock pieces off of my steel over here, I think just as kind of pieces of action figure history, let alone someone like me who's kind of a fan and likes Batman and Superman and likes this 6-inch scale for my DC stuff, I think, this is just a really, really cool set of figures to have. And this kind of takes me into price. These guys usually cost about $20 to $25 a piece. They're not very expensive. You can find them online, on eBay, on Mercari, sometimes new in package, sometimes not, in that $20 to $25 a piece range. I got lucky. I found a guy selling both of these for $40, free shipping for the both of them. So I got them for $20 a piece. And at $20 to have something cool and unique like this, while they're not the greatest sculpted figures in the world, the fact that they're metal with cloth goods capes and really, really well painted figures, I mean, this is just a really cool thing to add to the collection. And I would say in that $20 to $25 range to pick up something like this, if you're a fan of DC, you love Batman and Superman, even if like me, you don't like this look for Superman, it's still a really, really cool figure to get and to pick up and to just have something cool and unique that we will never ever see again to put on your shelf. I think this is great. I think for the price, this is definitely something that is worth picking up. I think if you're looking for something cool to put on your shelf, go check out eBay. See what these guys are selling for. When I looked and found these guys, like I said, $20 to $25 a piece for these guys. That's a great price. I mean, seriously, it is. It's less than the cost of a McFarlane figure now at this point at $20 a piece, right? And you're getting something that McFarlane's not going to do. Yes, I know it's a different scale, and if your whole collection is 7-inch scale McFarlane stuff, maybe this isn't for you. For me, I've started to purge my McFarlane stuff and started to move more towards the older 6-inch scale stuff that DC had for, the better part of 15 years. And I'm enjoying building that particular part of my collection, and these two go into that collection absolutely perfectly. So that is pretty much it, guys. Would love to hear what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Let me know. Is this something you even care about? Do you even like 6-inch scale? Or are you just all in on McFarlane? Either way, let me know in the comment section down below. And always remember to enjoy your collection.